Hi guys, my name is Irina. I'm an architectural drafter and interior designer from Melbourne. In my YouTube channel, I'm sharing my hacks, how to be successful, how to achieve the best results in your life, how to be organized and happier. And in today's video I want to tell you about fears which very often stop us from big achievements in life. Today's day I'm starting from the visit of one of my projects which I've been working a while ago. I started during pandemic and currently it's being built. I've been doing interior design and 3D visualization for the project. Why I am starting here, why I brought you here. You know guys, to show you the achievement I managed to do, and to show you to tell you about my fears which I overcame, the fears which I fight to have this achievement. I'll walk you around the house just for you to get the taste, the volume of the project which I'm working on. On my way to the house, I'll show you the neighborhood and will tell you why it's so important for me to work here on this project and in this neighborhood. I'm a Russian background and I originated from a very simple family, and my parents are not rich, we are just a normal family, and I grew up in a very small regional town, and our town is that small that every person knows each other and you can go outside the home and say hello. And that is why for me it was a big deal to come to Moscow first, and then from Moscow to come to Melbourne to my husband. And for me it was a big deal to start my business here and to work on the project of this big scale here. So I'll show you the house around. It's a heritage house which was extended, and it was such a great experience for me to work on the house like this. This is the pool outside. It's really big and beautiful, and inside the house there are several bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, each bedroom with each ensuite and with the access outside to the courtyard with beautiful view. It's so peaceful and calm here, you know, like in the heaven. Only birds around, you can't hear the cars. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is a future kitchen with this heritage arch which had to be preserved. So this will be the sitting area, and now we are moving to the kitchen. This is the kitchen with the access outside. Just have a look at this beautiful view outside, at those green trees, listen to birds again. I'm loving it here. It's so much peaceful here. And this is kitchen with pantry, and now we'll transition to the living room. I'll stop here not to make it too long. Guys, I hope you did enjoy the tour, and now we'll move to another nice location. I'm hoping to show you some kangaroos today. First we'll stop for a lunch and I'm gonna drive us there. And by the way, one of my fears I overcame as well is driving. I was always afraid to drive, and now I'm driving, and you know, after overcoming this fear and after learning to drive, I got so much from life and I'm so happy about it. Let's go, guys. I came to a really nice location. This is Listerfield Park in eastern suburbs of Melbourne. I will have a lunch here and at Stella's Kitchen, which is really nice place. And after that we'll go for a walk around that Listerfield Park, and I'm hoping we'll see some kangaroos. And while I'm in the car, I'll talk to you about fear number one, which stops us. This is the fear to make a mistake. Even now I was driving and I was thinking, I got my driving license back in Russia more than 15 years ago, and I was never driving in Russia. And because I was actually very much afraid to do this mistake, to drive, and only here in Australia I started to drive, because here it's impossible not to drive, because there are some places to which you just can't come by bus or train, like this place, for example, Listerford Park. Think how much we are losing having this fear to do mistake. A lot of opportunities. What I realized now, closer to my 40s, successful people, they always do mistakes, and a lot of mistakes. And if you will take like really successful businessman, what you will realize that in his life he failed so often and has done so many mistakes that even this count of mistakes not even close to some ordinary person. But the trick is to, after you fall, after you make mistake, to rise and go, and take this mistake as an experience, and say thank you to this mistake, and now I'm ready to go and make another achievements. So I think that's the trick. And everyone is afraid, like when you start in something new, or when before some important meeting, or before some important project, like when I'm starting a new project, I always afraid to make mistake. I'm thinking, oh, this project is so much cooler than the other project, and I'll definitely make mistake here, and sometimes I'm so much afraid. But then little by little I start, and I'm making those mistakes. But after, I'm learning from those mistakes, and after when I achieve this project, when I give it to the client, or when I see like how it's being built, like today, it's such a great feeling, and and I understand if I wouldn't be brave enough, not too afraid to do those mistakes, I wouldn't do that, and you as well, you need to understand that each of you came to this world with particular goal, with particular talents, and while you are sitting there in your cave and hiding your talents, and not go to serve to this world, and afraid to do mistakes, the world is getting more and more disappointed in you, and the world is thinking, why he or she is sitting not doing what he's supposed to do. If he would come and do what he's supposed to do, the world would be so much better. I'll slowly move to the place where I'm going to have lunch. And while I'm walking, let's talk about fear number 2, is the fear to be judged, or the fear what people will say. Personally, this fear stopped me from a lot as well. And I'm that kind of a person who always thinking, if I decide to do this, if I decide to start something new in my life, if I decide to do this or that, what will people say? Maybe somebody won't like it, or maybe it's not a good thing to start. And but after that, I'm just thinking, it's my life. I need to start it, and it doesn't matter. What helps me not to be afraid to be judged? I always think that in life of each person, there is something which he or she wanted to achieve, but not brave enough to achieve. And some people like divide into groups. Some people tell you you want to do this, you go and do. Look at me, I didn't do this, and it's so sad to me. Or but I would like you to do it to achieve your goal. And another person who is very successful will tell you, look at me, I'm that successful, I achieved success. Why you think you will not be able to achieve? And you will listen to them, you will go and do. But the second group of people will tell you, oh, you will never do this, such a stupid idea. And I think this group of people, you should stay away from them, because just hold on. You should discuss about these people. You should stay away from them because probably they in their lives they were not brave enough to come to their goal, to achieve what they wanted. And you know, because they couldn't do that, they think you won't be able to do that. But you know, it doesn't mean, by the way, that's the place where I'm gonna to have my lunch. And you know, if they didn't do this, if they didn't achieve that goal, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to do that. And it's their life, their example, but your life is something different. And you know, I believe you will agree with me, it's better to try and regret rather than not to try and regret. Like, for example, imagine yourself when you will retire and you will think, I wanted to become a cool architect or interior designer, or I wanted to start this business with horses, like, or I wanted to be a farmer and grow apples, or I wanted to move from small city to big city, or vice versa. Like, but because people said, and because I was so much afraid that I won't be able to do it, because I was so much afraid of judgment, I didn't do this. Imagine how sad you will be when you will get old and realize that you even didn't try to do something because you were afraid of the judgment of people. So don't afraid. So now I'll go inside this beautiful cafe. It actually closes at 4 o'clock and now it's 3 o'clock. I'm hoping they will have at least some food for me before I proceed to walk with the kangaroos. Let's go check. I'm so lucky, guys, that the kitchen is still open and I'm going to eat. Somebody's waltzing behind me, which is so cute. I think I'm gonna to take calamari. I never cook calamari at home, so I think it will be really nice to take calamari. While I'm waiting for a waiter, I'll tell you about fear number 3. The fear to move from one city to another, from one work of place to another. You know, we are losing a lot of opportunities when we're afraid to move, to change places. We think, oh, this is so cozy here and so nice, people are so nice here, and if I move to another city or place of work, I'll definitely fall, and it will be definitely a wrong thing to do. In my life, I moved 3 times from one city to another. First time it was from my original city, town where I'm from, to Stavropol. It's a big regional area in Russia. And then from Stavropol to Moscow, and then from Moscow here to Melbourne. And each time I thought, like, here is really nice and people are so cool, and you know, people are very good here. But definitely in another city they will be bad and I will not make my friends, and this fear stopped me to move and to change cities. And I think it was such a wrong fear, guys, because in each city, in big, small city, in Stavropol, in Moscow, here in Melbourne, there are good people and bad people everywhere, and the trick is who you attract to your life. Who you choose to communicate with. And you know, I found beautiful people everywhere in each city, and I have a lot of friends now in every city around the world and here in Melbourne. And you know, just don't afraid to move, and don't afraid to choose another job, to move to another job, because you know, For example, I'm not that person who is changing jobs very often. Basically, I changed my jobs when I moved from one city to another. But when I realized I probably should have changed jobs more often. Just each time when you change a job, you are getting new experience, and I'm thinking now by the age of I'm 39, will be soon, and I started my business, and I thought if I would have more experience, more valuable experience working not only like on 5 jobs in my life, but maybe in more companies, I would take more experience and use it in my business, because each new place of work we are moving to gives us new knowledge, and you learn the systems, and you learn advantages and disadvantages of different systems in each company, and it's like a really cool thing, I believe. Of course, it's not good to jump very often from one place of work to another. It will not do good. But I used to hang on like 7 and now it's 5 years. I believe it's my problem that I'm hanging on too long, and I believe I should have chosen more often. I should have changed places of work more often, just for this valuable knowledge to get. So don't afraid to move. Don't afraid to change something. First 21 days will be hard. The psychologist always says that first 21st days are hard, and you think everything wrong here. I want back to my city. I want back to my work. And but after you will understand, no, this place is actually cool. I'll stay here, and just hang on first 21 days and just be friendly and just learn and just see your advantages in the company. Guys, it was so funny, guys. I asked the waiter to bring me a glass of water, and he thought I'm asking vodka from him. Not every Russian drinks vodka during lunchtime when it's 28 outside. It's really funny. Wow, guys, just have a look at this toilet. Looking so cool. Wow. And just, guys, look at this beautiful fruit shop. Wow, it's looking really nice. Wow, I'm so much loving it. Look at this. What a beautiful day I'm having today. This shop is located just in front of restaurant, and while I was waiting for my food, I just came here to have a look. Maybe I'll get something after. Guys, my food is looking so yummy. I'll tell you later how much I paid. So this is my meal. Coffee. I'm so hungry now. We'll eat. Guys, I didn't expect that big dessert. It's 2 apple scones with some yogurt, with some jam. No way I'm gonna eat it. Maybe I'll wrap one and bring to my husband. I'll take some apricots, guys. They look so yummy. Strawberries also looking nice. So guys, of course I'm taking those scones, apple scones with me. I couldn't eat them. And I also bought 2 strawberry packs and apricots. They look so yummy and tasty, so I couldn't resist. Overall, I paid $52 for my lunch and $17 for fruit. So the overall damage is $69. Ah, I need to charge my phone a little bit, and we are going to go for a walk in that beautiful park, and I need to leave that back. So guys, Listerfield Park has got this beautiful lake, and sometimes kangaroos come here, but they didn't come today. That's really sad, and it's really crowded here too, so we'll go to walk over there inside the forest. So guys, I'm deep in the woods, and I'm melting actually, but it's alright. Okay, fear number 4 is actually a fear to start something. You know, when you already decided that you are moving from one city to another, or changing your job, or doing some getting ready for some very serious event in your life, small or big. Oh, kangaroos! Hold on. So guys, it's very dangerous to come very close, and I'll try to be silent. Hello. There is this guy sitting here and waiting for us. I'll try to come a little bit closer. Small body. Can you see him? Hello. Oh, there is another one. Look. Couple. Look, I'll continue. So you know, this here to start. For some reason, you know that you need to do something. For example, you decided, and you just, for some reason, getting prepared, but not actually starting. It can be some big events or small events, like everyday tasks or big projects. You know, 100% you need to do that, but for some reason you delaying this, and you're getting prepared, and you're waiting one day, another day, or 1 hour, another hour, and you are like, you're not starting because you're just afraid to start, because you're thinking, oh, that's a big project and I need to start it, and you are just afraid, you don't know what from to start. And you know, it's like, I always have this thing, and I have my algorithm how not to afraid to start and what to do. I'll tell you a little bit later. So I don't know why some events we delay in like 4 days, for months, for years. We know that we have to do them, but delaying them. Comment on if you know why. But for me, personally, it's fear to start. But you know, the thing is, when you're starting, you just need, is like when you walking into cold sea or ocean, just, you know, you need, the water seems to be very cold for you, and you think, oh, it's so cold, and I will never swim here, it's too cold. But then you just need to jump in the water and put full your body in the water, and then you start to swim, and then you start to feel really nice, and you start to think, oh, the water is not that cold, and the water is nice actually, and I like to swim. And you are swimming, and you can't stop, and you're enjoying this process. The same with the start. You just need to jump in the start. Just need to force yourself. If you 100% decided to do something, you just jump in it and start to swim. At first it will be cold, fresh. At first you will be not able to figure out what to do. But step by step, this fear will go away. Because you already started. You may not afraid to start anymore. Like, so now you need to do, you know. So, and my algorithm, not too afraid to start any event. First, I'm just telling myself, I'm just doing my schedule time, and for the day or for the month, and I'm just saying to myself, like, this month I'm doing this day I'm doing this, and like 100% I need to do this. So the sooner I'll start, the sooner I'll get absorbed by the process, the better I will do, the sooner I'll finish and have my rest. Because I decided to do this. And then I just force myself, and I'm telling myself, that's it. Now, for example, I'm starting this big project. Okay. And after that, when I just started, I always want like to break. Oh, just hold on. I always want in the beginning like to make a break, just maybe stop it, and these first moments, minutes, hours, they're crucial. You need just to force yourself not to stop. Just you need to force yourself to continue to do the project. And the first moments, days, you will face a lot of difficulties, and it will seem to you, oh, it's like a mess. Like you will think, I will never be able to finish it. It's so much to do. So you start when you see a lot of problems, dramas coming, a lot of issues to sort out on the project. You just need to make your list. I'm doing my lists in Excel. No matter which issue coming, which query coming on the project, I'm put it in my list on Excel. And here's what important thing. The important thing here is you put it to your list, and you just don't think if it's important or not important, how much it will take me. First you put everything, okay? Then when you sort it out, all your issues, when you sort it out, all your emails, all your phone calls, and these new issues will come to you. Then you look at your list, and you divide tasks on that list into 3 groups. First group's tasks which can be easily sorted out, which will not take you more than 1 minute. Second group is the most important tasks for the project, and the third tasks is just what you need to do for the project. So after you decided it, first hour of the day, you just sort out those tasks from the group number 1, very quick tasks. And it will help you just to get absorbed with the process. You will understand, oh, these tasks are not actually that hard, and I can can knock them out one after another. And like this, with these easy tasks, you will quickly solve these easy problems, and you will see how your list is reducing, and you will understand, oh, actually, like I can slowly figure out what to do in this project. My list is reducing, it's getting better. And after you just accelerate it, you are like engine, you know, like a car engine. After you just have a look at your second part of the list, and do like 3-4 crucial tasks, depending how much these tasks will take you. And you do the tasks, and in the end of the day, do tasks which are easy, which need to be done for the project, but you can do them like almost automatically. And so this approach actually helped me. And if you will have your approach ready, your plan of actions ready, these lists which you will make, you will not afraid to start anything. You can apply this principle for like your everyday, for months, for years, like for some big events. For example, you need to start getting ready for moving, for example, from one city to another, and you are going crazy, you don't know what to do. Again, start to make list. For example, what should I do for my movement first? What documents I need to sort out? What should I do? Like, think really well, and do your list again, and start to do something to knock out those events. And believe me, you know, when you will know that there is a particular plan of action for you, and the next event you will start, you will not afraid to start already, because you will know the algorithm. When you know the algorithm, and when you already have experience of some really complicated situation, and which you sort it out thanks to these lists, thanks to your ability to assess what's important, what's not important now at this moment. You won't be that scared to start any other things, you know, like your big business or your transition, for example, from one job to another. Maybe you're upgrading of your position in a company. For example, you've been like accountant and now, I don't know, like you head of the accountant office, and you're thinking, oh, I need to do so much, what should I do? Just sit and do a list and just start doing something. Start from easy things. So guys, that's it for today. I summarize all the fears which you need to knock out and remove and be very successful in life. So fear number 1 is fear of making mistake. All the successful people are doing mistakes and falling, but they win because they are rising. Everyone falls, but those win who can rise after fall. Fear number 2 is fear to be judged, fear what people will say about me, if people won't be happy about my decision or will make fun of me, will laugh at me, you know. Remove this fear. Believe me, those people, most of the people will support you. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of relatives, friends who will support you. Those people who are making fun of you, just know that these people, they also wanted to do something in life, but they couldn't do it, and they're making laugh as if it's like their protective reaction. They wanted to do something, didn't do, and now they're making only what options they have to do fun of other people. But you will show to that people that you can achieve your goal, and they maybe also will think, oh, I made fun about that girl or about that guy, but maybe I shouldn't make fun, or maybe I should do something to achieve my goal as well. You can be a good example for that people. The fear number 3 is the fear to move to another job, another position, another city, because you could think that what position where I'm now is the best, which is wrong. When you're moving, you get new friends always, you get a new experience, your life experience becoming more richer and richer, you becoming cooler and cooler, and finally, thanks to all these experiences, you can find, you can start either your own business, or you can become that experienced and cool person in life that you will say thank you to yourself that you moved. Probably, you know, maybe if you moved from one company to second company and this company was rubbish, and then after second company you moved to the third company, and it eventually turned out to be better than your first company. So it means this second company was to be moving to, because it brought you to the third much better company, if you know what I mean. And of course the fear number 4 is the fear to start. Just be brave, just jump. Remember, like in the ocean, jump in this ocean and just dive in this water, in this cold water, and just start to swim, start to do your task, your project, start your business, change your life. So just knock out these 4 fears and you will become really successful in life. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping that this video was really helpful for you. If yes, could you please leave comments and put thumbs up. Of course, follow me on my Instagram, follow my business, Design Mile, as well. I have my YouTube channel for Design Mile as well. And of course, subscribe this channel, because in this channel I'm planning to tell you about life hacks, about how to find your way, how to become successful in your life. I have this big experience of working in offices, and I'm starting my business now. I'm sharing my journey tips, my journey, not tips, my journey. I'm telling you about my journey, and yeah, just subscribe, and I'll update you with what's going on, with what's happening. Thank you guys, have a good day. I'm so happy that we found kangaroos. Yes, yes, yes.